Hello everyone, my name is Harsh and a very warm welcome to all of you in this AI assistant app in Flutter. And in this video, we are going to design the bottom sheet for language selection in our multi-language translator feature. So what I exactly want is when I click on any one of them from or to, there should be a bottom sheet showing here, as well as I am showing all the available languages here and a search field to search a particular language if required. Okay, so we are gonna design this one in this video. So first thing that we will require is a list of languages. So actually I have already created a list of languages and I have added as many languages as possible from my side. Actually I got this list from a GitHub, okay, and I modified it to suit my requirement. So there is nothing much in this list. It is simply a final constant list in which there are list of languages added. Okay, and if you want you can copy this from my GitHub. Now moving to our functionality part. So what we want is actually inside this translator feature, when any one of them auto or to is clicked, we want to show a kind of a bottom sheet here. So first we need to create that bottom sheet, and actually I will be creating that in a separate file. So for that I have already created a widget, and inside that I have created a file named bottom sheet. Currently there is nothing much in a bottom sheet, okay, just a name. Now moving to our translate feature, and I am just gonna implement a functionality on them. So simply Ctrl Shift R, wrap with widget, and I am simply wrapping it with the inkwell, and simply on tap I want to show a bottom sheet. And since we are using get in this course, so we can simply use get dot and simply a function called as bottom sheet, okay, and we can pass the bottom sheet here. So I'm just passing any widget, so that is our language sheet, and actually we need to import this one, so simply import this one. And for now we can simply press a control save, and now if I tap on this auto now, you will see a bottom sheet shows with a placeholder here, okay. And one more thing that I want to address is I don't want to show the whole portion like this, okay. I want it to be bit curved, so we can do that too. Simply border radius and border radius dot all, and simply radius dot circular, and I just want to give the radius that I have given to this one, that is 15. So simply like this and control save. Now if I tap on this one now, you will see it looks like a proper curve, even that fading effect or a tap effect. Now we need to design that bottom sheet, so I am clicking on this and moving to this language sheet, and actually I will use a container here, and I will give it a fixed height for now. So height and mq dot, and we need to import media query for now dot height, and let's say 0.5%, because I don't want it to occupy the whole screen. And for now I will just give a color to it, so actually I will use decoration here and box decoration and simply color, and simply for now colors dot white. And if I press Ctrl save, you will see half the screen is white. Now what I can do is I just want the side portion to be a bit curved, so we can again use border radius here. So simply border radius dot all and radius, and actually I just want it from the top side, so I'm using only. And here from top left, simply radius dot circular, and I'm giving a value of 15 comma, and I just want from right side too, so radius dot circular, and I am giving a value of 15, and simply control save, and it looks curved and it also looks a bit decent. Now the next thing I want is I just want to add a search field here. So to be more specific, we need a text field, okay. So we can just copy out the text fields that we have created. So I'm just copying any one of them, so let me copy this one, okay. And after that, and actually I also want to show here the language list, so I will be using a column here. So simply child and a simple column widget, and inside this children's, first I will paste this text field. So simply press control save for now, and it is kind of showing me an error that we don't have any controller for now, so for now let it be. And you can see a kind of a text field here. So what I can do is I can add some padding to it. So actually I can just give padding to this container, so padding, and simply edge insist dot only, and from left I want some padding, so mq dot width, and let's say 0.4%, and from right also I want some padding, so let's say again 4%, and top I want mq dot height, and let's say this time 0.02%, and control save, and this looks okay. And another thing, inside this text field I want to show an icon and some hint here. So inside this input decoration, what I can do is prefix, and we can specify a prefix icon here. So simply icon and simply icons dot translate, and actually I like this one, translate rounded, so I'm just using this one, and you will see a translate icon here. And I also want to give it a default color, so simply colors dot blue. Okay, and simply control save, and it looks a kind of a decent. And I don't want to add maximum lines, or I can limit it to just one, so we don't have to specify it either. So simply remove this. Okay, so it will not increase depending upon the search. And another thing, I just want to add a hint text here, so simply hint text, and we can specify anything like search language. Okay, you can type anything you like and simply control save. And I think the font is a bit too much for the hint, so I can just reduce it by using hint style and simply a text style here. And I can just give a font size to it, let's say 13.5 for now, and simply control save, and it looks decent in my case. And let it be 14. Okay, and you can adjust it to your requirements. Now I want to show a list of languages, so one way to show is I can simply use that list and then map it around. Okay, so I can use a map function and I can load all the items on the screen, but this data is bit too much to be loaded using simple map or a for loop. So I will be using list view builder, because list view builder is better in case of performance when it comes to a large set of items. So we will be using that here. So simply I can use list view dot builder, and I have to specify an item builder here. So actually it expects two parameter from us, context and index. So we can just simply use this context and index, and I can change it to ctx, and I can change it to simple and I. Okay, and for now we can just return a text. We will decide later what this text will contain, so simply a text, and let it be empty for now. Okay, now we need that list here. So how we can access that list? So for accessing that list, actually we need to create an instance of translate controller and use it here. So how we can do that? So actually I will accept from the screen which is calling this. Okay, so simply, so translate controller, and I can just call it C, which means just a controller, nothing more than that, and we can import it. And another thing that I want here is, actually I just want this rx bool from the translate controller. So when we are clicking on this auto, I just want to pass this rx bool, and when we click on this 2, I just want to pass this 2, so I can update it accordingly, because I don't want to create two different bottom sheets for both the features. So here what I will do is, actually I will accept those rx bools, so rx string, actually not bool, and I can just call it s, which means simply a string, nothing more than that. Okay, you can name it the way you like it. Okay, so simply like this, and I have to actually pass those here. So what I can do is, I can just remove this const from here, and rather I will pass that controller. So controller will be underscore c, and string will be controller dot, and since this is auto, which means from, I will be sending this from. So what will happen is, when I update from here, it will directly reflect to this value and it will change here. So what I can do is, I can kind of add a condition here, and underscore c dot from dot is empty. If it is empty now, then show auto, and if it is not empty, in that case, actually I just want to show the value of from, and simply control save. Now moving to our language sheet, I will be using that list here. So what I can do is, I can just use item count. So we need to specify item count here. So I can use actually c dot and simply lang dot length. So whatever is the length of the language, simply use those, and you will see it is kind of throwing me an error, because I need to click on it again, and you will see again it is throwing an error. You can see in the debug console here. Okay, actually this list view is not able to define how much width and height it should take. Okay, so we need to use it a widget called as expanded, because we have given a total height of 0.5%, in which some height is taken by this widget and the remaining height I just want to give to this list view. So we can simply do it with expanded, and now if I press Ctrl save, it is again kind of throwing me an error. So what I can do is I can just tap on this screen again, or I can just click on this back button, and now I can click on this auto, and this time you will see it is taking a proper height. Now actually I need to restart my app. So till the application is running, I just want to implement some logic in our app, and that will be useful for this search feature. So actually what I will do is I will override onChanged function of this search feature. So simply onChanged, and as you can see, this function provides as in string when it is changed. So actually I will just use it as a string, okay. And what I will do is I will create a rxbool variable here that will update on the change of this string. So actually rx string, so simply final, and I can call it search is equals to, and for now when this builds I will just keep it empty, okay. And when this changes, what I will do is simply search dot value is equals to, and I can just use the value that it has provided. And since my application is up and running, I will click on this translate feature, and then on this out, and you will see the below portion is completely empty, so we can populate it. So what we can do is, for now if we wish, we can just use c.lang, and we can just pass a I here, which means the index, and you will see the list of items, okay. But this doesn't look that good at all. I just want some spacing and some padding from the sides. So what I can do is I can wrap it with padding, so simply padding, and I just want to add the padding from the bottom sides, okay, generally. So I will use only here, and from bottom I will use a padding of mq.height 0.2%, and now if I press Ctrl save, you can see that padding, okay. And now if I just move to the very bottom of the screen, you can see that stuff, okay. So it looks good for now. And another thing, I just want some padding from the top as well. So what I can do is I can just use this list view builder to give some padding. So padding, and simply agencies dot only, and from top I want some padding, so mq.height, and let's say 0.02, and from right or left I just want some padding, so left, and I can give like 4. And now if I just press Ctrl save, you will see it is kind of aligned to, let me change it to 6 for now, and it looks okay. And next thing what I want is, when I search in this should be updated, okay. So actually we are updating this search variable, so rather I will wrap this list view builder with an obx variable here, okay. So simply Ctrl Shift R, wrap with a widget, and I will use obx here, which means observe this widget. And in this time what I will do is I will not use this notation, rather I will convert it to block, and I will use it like this, okay. And it is showing me an error that you are not using it properly. I know I am not using it properly, because I will create a list here for this to show. So final list is equals to, and when this search fields updates, so first I will check if search dot is empty. In that case, return an empty list, do nothing. And if search is not empty, in that case what I will do is I will use a kind of a list or a loop here. So simply I can use c dot lang dot and where, okay, I will iterate through all the items, and I can use it like e. So simply e dot to lowercase, which means I don't want user to be concerned with the case he types, okay. And dot contains, and then I can just use the search field, so simply search dot value. So if the language list contains what user have searched, and I am also changing it to lowercase, in that case I just want to update the list. Now rather than using lowercase here, what I will do is I will just use it inside this, because in this function it will be iterated multiple times, rather it will be only executed once, okay. And simply Control save, and you can see the list is showing here because we are using obx variable with some data updating here. Now rather than using this, So what I can do is I can simply use that list here, but it is showing me it as an object. So what I will do is I will just specify its type to be list of string. Okay, and it is throwing me an error because this is not a list, so I need to convert into a list, and after that I can just use it like this. Okay, and now if I just press Ctrl save, you will see it is throwing me an error because I think this list is empty because the search value is empty. Okay, now one more thing, I can use simply the length of the list, so list dot length, and like this. Now it is not throwing me an error. The reason is simple, this list is empty, so length is 0. But you may observe there is no data inside this. The reason is quite simple. Actually we are just using an empty list here, rather we should be using the full list. So I can just pass this lang and you will see like this. Now this looks decent to me, but what if I search here? Like I search HIN, and you will see the search is also updating. The reason is quite simple. We are using a OBX, okay, here, which is updated on change, and when on change executes we are implementing this logic, and then we are using that list here, and that's the reason this search result is updating. So we are able to update the search result, but I also just want to update this field when user taps on any one of them. So what I can do is I can wrap this widget, okay, with an inkwell simply, and inside on tap I can simply do it like this, on tap, and here simply I can do whatever I have received. So s dot, and we have defined this s above, okay, like whatever the string we get from the user. So simply s dot and value is equals to list and the current index, okay, and this will update the value for us. And I also want to close the bottom sheet when the value is once updated. So what I can do is I can simply use get dot back, okay, and simply like this, and Control save. Now if I just go on any of the language, like just be anything Arabic, and you will see nothing is updated here. The reason is quite simple, we haven't wrapped it with an OBX. So now if I press Control save, now you will see it is updated to Arabic. The reason is when the screen is updated, it is updating the data, so I just need to wrap this one with a OBX widget, okay, so observer widget, and we can just do it like this, here to parenthesis and a arrow operator, and Control save. Now we can use the same setup for the below one. So I'm just copying this one out, just move to this below one, and I can just paste this one out here, and rather than auto I can use a to keyword, and here c dot from I can use to, okay, and Control save. Now Arabic is showing here, the reason is this from, so simply to and value, and you will see it is completely empty. I need to use a 2 here too, and it looks good. Now if I click on this, I can just go and click on any one of them, and if I wish I can search any language like English. I can click on it, and it is changing a kind of a weird language to us. Now why this is happening? Because we have selected English in that case, and let me try this once again, and if I just tap on this English, you will see the language is changed. So what I will do is I will go to bottom sheet, and I will try to log out this issue. So I can just simply use a log widget here, and after that just this developer one, and I can use this s dot value, or rather I can use this list and this value, okay, and I can just press Control save, and I can open my terminal to know the value. So if I just click on this and I select if I search here, and now if I tap on this, you will see Afar is selected, rather it should be Hindi. Now I think this is happening just because of this local search OBX. Now when we just click on any value, I think the update for the build is called, and in that case this search variable is created once again, and in that case this value is changed to c.lang, and then that c.lang is shown. So how we can fix that? The solution is quite simple. I can convert into a stateful widget, and I can just move this search variable outside of this one, and simply Control save, and I can just use a underscore notation to just make it a private one. And now if I click on this, and now if I search anything like Hindi, and I click on this Hindi, you will see this time Hindi is selected. Okay, so this is working. Now if I click on this and I just search anything like English, okay, and I click on this one, it's working. So with this we are able to implement this search field in our application. One last thing, if you want, you can add a kind of a bouncing effect to this. So simply physics and bouncing scroll physics. Actually this looks good to me, just that much, and if I click on this, it's kind of a bouncing effect, and that's it. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.